Hey there everyone, today I want to look at Doom 64. This is the remastered edition. I never got to play this on the original N64, not that I would actually want to, because the game itself isn't really that good. Even as a Doom spin-off or a Doom clone, I've played other Doom clones that felt more like Doom than this one, and it's just not an improvement, but it's not necessarily bad either. It's kind of a nice little distraction, but it definitely feels like a downgrade from the real system or from the real experience. So some reasons for that are honestly the sound design and the weapons. The weapons just feel off. The sound feels like it's recorded underwater or something because the limits of the N64, I guess. It was a nice variation on Doom, I guess. Like if you took a certain piece of music and played it in a different manner or something. The maps were well designed. They were obviously very different from what I used to from other Doom maps. There were some interesting, cool, concepts and whatever, how the levels were laid out and the keys. There was this one level where you had to unlock a bunch of keys in the center of this one room, and then that would unlock a bunch of different gates and other objectives that you had to race to throughout the level. That was kind of a neat thing. I think there's roughly 20 something levels in here. But yeah, I don't know. It just felt like a very watered down version of the original thing. The one thing I do have to say that is nice and interesting about it, though, are the character and enemy designs. They've gone through, obviously, kind of a facelift for this era, but it's really interesting to see their N64 counterparts. I think overall, most of them are pretty good, decent adaptations or really good reinterpretations. One thing I really, really enjoyed was the Pain Elemental. I was really disappointed how the Pain Elemental in the previous games was. It was just a reskin Cacodemon, but here it actually has like a little kind of cloak or something on it, and it still spawns the lost souls or whatever, but it just looks a lot more distinct and interesting, and honestly, really frustrating and a very intimidating enemy, basically. Again, all of the returning weapons are here from Doom 2. With some new ones, actually. So you have, the pistol, your fist, chainsaw. I really like the design of the chainsaw in this game the most, actually, again. You have the shotgun, super shotgun, chain gun, rocket launcher, and then you have your 3 plasma weapons. So this is actually really cool. What they kind of changed up about it is that you, of course, have the plasma rifle, the BFG, and then a new weapon that I haven't seen, or you will not see until, of all places, Doom Eternal, which is the kind of the red BFG version gun, where basically it goes super rapid fire. It doesn't exactly work like that in this one. It's more like a penetrating laser beam, so even there, it's kind of unique. So I think there's one reason that this game is actually pretty interesting. It has that really cool design of that new weapon. Some weird quirks about the weapons. The double or the super shotgun, you'll fire it and you'll hear the reload sound, but there actually is no reload animation. I'm not sure if they cut that out or something. I mean, this is a remastered version, but you'll hear him reloading the gun, but he never actually does it. He just sits there in front of you. It's kind of weird, honestly. Aside from that, you also have the plasma gun, which the weird thing about it in this one is that it does not have the cooldown delay. Usually when you stop firing, you'll have to kind of let it cool down and reload it, but you can just, immediately keep firing in this one. BFG and all the other weapons more or less work the same, along with that new gun. That's really cool. I really like the design of it. I love when you pick it up, you say, what the F is this? Or what the heck is this, basically. Again, I also really like the imp design in this game. I think it just adds more texture to them. It just really, overall, more interesting enemies to fight. And again, I don't know, just the audio and the feel of the weapons. Everything just feels very kind of toned down. There's something about the original that just hits so well. So yeah, unless you're a real Doom nut, I guess play this. But otherwise, I would really skip it. It's not a better weird version of Doom on the N64. It's a worse kind of watered down port, if anything. That's at least how it feels. I mean, it has its own distinct level design and campaign, but there's nothing interesting story wise or whatever to set it apart from other Dooms. Basically, it feels like another WoD, more or less. One thing that I did notice, especially in this version of the game, is that there's a lot of ammo. I mean, usually there's enough ammo to keep yourself fully stocked near the end of the game, but like there is a lot of ammo. Like I almost never ran out of ammo for any of my guns. Kind of out. There was just so much of it. It didn't really matter or count or whatever. Another thing I also really liked in terms of enemy design was the final boss. It was called the Mother of All Demons, and the final level is called Absolution. And I really liked her design. It was really, really nifty. It was kind of like this weird, I want to say almost Anubis kind of thing, or like a giant snake lizard thing that was also flesh and organic-y. I thought it was a really good design, and again, that is what sets this game apart, is that the designs of the enemies are really interesting, really good. And I just realized I don't think there's any revenants in this game. But yeah, no, the final boss of this game is also very difficult, very decently hard, especially up until that point. Like I kept dying over and over and over again, and the only way I could beat her is that I basically saved my plasma BFG ammo specifically for the boss and just pummeled her, just held down the attack button and just launched attack after attack at her. That was the only way to take her out, because she had this crazy combination where she sent down these floor, unilateral moving tracking. Well, they didn't track you, but like these floor things. And if you walked into it, it would bounce you into the air and do massive damage, and it would basically kind of make you, lose momentum. And that was a big issue because her second attack are these homing, these homing missiles, these homing red missile things, and they're almost impossible to dodge, honestly, without even just normally. If you're just normally running, you have to like hide behind cover in order to actually dodge them, which makes it really, really difficult. Which, the tag for that boss, I don't know. So I just pummeled her until she died, but it was like very, very difficult. Shockingly so. And before that whole thing, you have a horde of enemies that you have to take out anyway. So it's super, super hard and super difficult. The only last thing, I mentioned there's no redeeming story aspects, and of course Doom never has an important story. But what's interesting is it says that the Doom guy basically decides to stay in hell to make sure that they can't return. And that kind of seems like it actually very much ties into the Doomslayer storyline that we have going on with the newer games, where the Doomslayer is a being from like this other dimension who basically stayed in hell and was this kind of hero. And so I think Doom 64, the very end screen, kind of hints that is, this Doomslayer, which I thought was actually kind of nice and kind of cool. But yeah, outside of that, I can't really say anything else more about this game. It's not super impressive. It's the designs, which are all right. There's really nothing about it that stands out to me like, oh wow, yeah, no, this is one weird trick in this game. No, this feels like the Doom 3 of the classic Doom series, if you understand it. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's still kind of like, it's just mediocre, very middle of the lane. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Just a real quick, analysis. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you later. Bye. Oh, actually, one thing that I just noticed about this game before I go is that when you die in this game or you finish a level, the screen goes into this weird goo thing. And the only other game I've seen that also does that is Proteus, which is honestly a love letter to Doom. And on that note, go play Proteus because it's a much better game. That's it. Okay, bye.